Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to focus on the Strella rocket, which could possibly be one of the most underrated secondaries within Warzone. We're going to clear up one of the biggest misconceptions with the Strella, which is whether or not it's Hitscan and does it have any rocket drop. If you do enjoy the video, learn something new, please do me a favor, hit that like button if you're brand new looking to find your way back. Double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Let's go ahead and get into it. So when it comes to launchers, we got a lot of great options. We have the Pila, the Thumper, we got the RPG, the Joker, which can be kind of annoying, but it's nice for taking out vehicles a million miles away. We got the Sigma 2, we got the Strella, and then we got the RPG 7. One of the nice things about the Strella and the RPG is there's no lock-on mechanic. So that's a pro and a con. Obviously, you can't lock on to something far away. But that also doesn't give any kind of warning to the enemy that you're shooting at. And the big comparison here is either going to be a Strella versus an RPG. And one of the biggest misconceptions is people will say that this thing is Hitscan. We're going to debunk that right now. Let's go ahead and get into it. So pretty much what I did to figure out how far this thing travels is you line it up here and then you go frame by frame. You can kind of see this in real time. So if we go ahead and lock on here, we go ahead and press play. You see that, and then you can see that I shot it at the top of this little tower, and then it actually impacts down here, which is like 15 meters lower, about 12 meters lower. So obviously there's two factors that happen there. It wasn't instantaneous. This is at 200 meters, so I'll break down a little bit of that. But it also has significant drop. And we'll see how this differs compared to the RPG, which has a significantly different style of rocket. So you can see right here, again, I'm aiming at the top. And then as we go through, we come through, we fire, you lose all visibility. And then after about 900 milliseconds, you're going to see that on the left of the screen, boom, you can see the rocket make impact right here at this kind of a little bit more prominent line. We'll go ahead and zoom, boom, and then it's right there. You get that little bit of explosion at 968 milliseconds. So what that translates to is it approximately travels at 200 meters per second. And just for comparison, that velocity is slower than pretty much all the weapons that fire bullets within the entire game. So we could do the same exact thing with the RPG. You can see that aim at the top, and it ends up being very slow travel time. We go all the way across, and what you can see is when it actually makes impact right around here, you can see it makes impact. It's a little hard to see, but it does blow up at the top, and it takes almost 4 seconds to get all the way over there. So it'll travel 200 meters in about 4 seconds, which ends up being 50 meters per second. It's 4 times slower, a quarter of the speed of the other rocket. So that's sometimes why people will say it feels like Hitscan, because if you've used a rocket for an exceptional amount of time, then you're going to feel like, hey, just for comparison, if I was using the HDR at this range, it would probably take 200 milliseconds to go from where I'm at to there. So compared to a full second, it's not even close to Hitscan. Hitscan would be somewhere around 17, 20 milliseconds. Even though it would be instantaneous, there'd be a little bit of server delay, but instantaneous is what Hitscan would be. So you could also see the drop. It ends up going exactly where I aim. So that's where the difference with the RPG is. So the nice part about the Strella is it only goes vertical difference. So it only has vertical drop. And what's nice about that is then you can actually lead your shots appropriately the same way you would a sniper. Obviously with terrible bullet velocity, so you could use like the M82, you'd have a similar issue. But the nice thing with a launcher is it's very forgiving. You get a direct impact, no matter where you hit them. If you can hit them in the toe, you can hit them in the forehead, no matter where you make contact, as long as it's direct impact with that individual rocket, you down a player, even if they have EOD. So it has a little bit more versatility. You don't have to be as accurate, but if you're within a certain distance, maybe 150 meters, which is still pretty decent range, you don't have to lead the shot all that much. As we saw in the intro clips, even at about 100 meters, you can see where the line is. The dot's perfect, and then these lines line up perfect. Right around 200 meters is probably close to this first little chunk. Maybe there's a line right there, and that's kind of how you can lead the shot there. So it makes it pretty interesting as a weapon that you can aim into buildings, shoot people off vehicles, shoot off whatever. If you have high ground, taking somebody off a head glitch, a little unforgiving, you could go ahead and shoot around it, get explosive damage, splash damage, and then you kind of damage them as they come through. So when it comes to the Strella, is it hit scan? 100% no. Just keep in mind that whatever the distance is, it's only going to travel at 200 meters per second, which is incredibly slow, but significantly faster than the RPG. And it allows you to focus up and line up those shots. If you need to shoot into a doorway, into a building, it has no side to side. It doesn't have that spiral type of motion like the RPG. It literally just goes straight out, has the little parabolic curve, kind of goes out and down. So in terms of a secondary, it's actually pretty amazing as a support weapon. And what I mean by that is if you're structured in a team of 3 or 4, it is perfect maybe to one person to have this. Other people have sniper type of support classes, and then you kind of mix it up. And this could be the way to double check into buildings. They could hold the ammo for you. I'm not recommending everyone to use this, but it does actually help as a support player to kind of understand how the weapon works. Everyone hold the rockets for you, and you gotta have an unlimited supply. You can clear out buildings. If they have a trophy system, this thing beams past them on some vehicles, depending on the angle you hit it at. I would definitely recommend trying it out. Is it the new meta? I don't think so. It's very niche, but it could be a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, learned something new. If you did, please do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back, double check, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Appreciate all the support of the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.